Um, so I don't want to miss telling folks because I had so many people praying for my outcome today. Um, if you have a chronic illness, it just changes your life a little bit. Like, it changes how you look at going to the doctor. It changes how you feel about medicine. Um, and for me, I'm a redhead. I don't know how many redheads are following me. Sometimes I have a lot on here. Sometimes I only have a few. So I never can really tell. I don't know how many redheads are following me. Let me mute that. Okay. So, but the thing is, medicines don't work right on me. Like a lot of them don't work like they're supposed to. And so it makes it really frustrating. Um, and, uh, and so I kind of got used to not getting the results I was supposed to get, and not having the outcomes that I was hoping to have. And then y'all know that I come at a lot of things holistically just because so many medicines don't work right on me. And so I have some people that are like, oh, that's your niche. That's just where you're at, Michelle. You're just a holistic, blah, blah, blah. And the reality of the situation is it's that when your body doesn't work like everybody else's body does or respond to medicines like everyone else's does, um, you have to try other things. You have to try other things out of sometimes desperation. Let's just be real. The medicine they had me on for pseudotumor created bleeding issues like vascular breakdown, and it was all for reducing fluid in my head. So pseudotumors kind of it's not a fun diagnosis. It's not. It is mind numbing, debilitating migraines. It is double vision. It is not being able to read. It took me being diagnosed. How they figured it out was honestly that they couldn't get my glasses right. And I still have the glasses. I'm going to show them to y'all. I still have the glasses. And they were so pretty and I was so excited about them. Here they are. Okay. Oh, this is going to probably make me cry. All right. So, oh yeah. Oh my. Um, so these glasses at no point can I wear now. These are supposed to be progressive lenses. Probably shouldn't have done that. And so I thought that y'all know we get old eyes. We get old eyes, and presbyopia, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, it's basically just that your eyes are aging. And I was in my late 40s when I started having issues with my vision. I was actually still working at Acadian at the time, in business development. I was off the ambulance. I was no longer working actively as a paramedic, but I was still a paramedic. And I literally was at work, and the double vision got so bad that I started doing stroke scale on myself, like trying to make sure that I wasn't having a stroke. And when you work in the medical arena, it's natural for you to like try to check your own self out, right? Which is kind of what I did. And then I went to one of the doctors that I knew at one of the hospitals and had them do a workup on me. And they said, no, Michelle, you're good. You're good. It's probably just from being on spreadsheets all day and doing that kind of work. And I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know, right? And a lot of people don't get diagnosed with PTC. Um, if you know someone who deals with that, or some people call it idiopathic intracranial hypertension, and it's it's ugly. Getting diagnosed is one thing. Some people get diagnosed through major migraines, but y'all, I had headaches for years and I had no idea that it was more than just, I just blew it off for stress headaches. Anybody else ever, just stress headache? It's just stress headache. It's a tension headache. It's an allergy headache. Um, and, and all the while you're pushing yourself to be normal. You're pushing yourself to try to do normal things. Um, and I was driving a lot and I was working a lot and I would go from meeting to meeting. And then there was a lot of computer work, right? And I just thought that maybe I was just straining my eyes and that my vision, somebody told me, well, Michelle, you're coming up on 50. It could be your eyes are changing. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. So anyway, long story short, I blew some of the things off looking back. And then I was having some memory issues. I was having some other issues. And I just packed it all away that it was stress. And until these glasses, and my daughters had worn glasses since they were children. And so they always gave me grief, right? Because one, I'm a chicken. Okay. They do contacts. There's no way for me to, I don't think, do contacts, although they'd be really surprised with me. I didn't bow up at all when they put drops in my eyes today, and the guy had to put 3 different sets of drops in each eye. And I was really, really good. And I didn't even get stressed out, which was surprising. But, and my daughter was just hollering at me from the other room. She didn't call me a chicken. But she did kind of give me some grief over the fact that I had really good vision, right? And I didn't understand what it was like to not be able to see and to have those things. And it wasn't that I was being snotty. It was that I really didn't quite get it until they told me that this condition could make me go blind. And the thought of going blind and not seeing my kids' faces again. And maybe not being able to see my grandkids, just shook me. And I know that there are people all over the world who are blind, who lose their sight. But the thought that if I had just kept ignoring what was going on with me, that would have been the cost, right? Sometimes I think that we try to talk ourselves into the thought process that it'll be fine. It'll just wait. I don't need to pay attention to it. I don't need to spend money on it. Y'all don't want to know how much money we spent on these glasses. The first round was almost $600. This one insurance, right? So $600, and then they still weren't right. And then they were going to warranty it, but then there was another 30%, and there was this percent because you had to redo this and that. And I have multiple sets of lenses, right, for these glasses. And then I came out to Hill Country Vision in Floresville, and I had them do a separate eye exam. I'm like, okay, something has got to give. It's either these glasses or they just did a really bad eye exam. And the lady looks at me, right? And she gets really nervous. And then she looks again. Have y'all ever had that moment when the doctor looks again? Like, here, let me just reset all of these things and let's start over. And then she looks and looks and looks. And she's like, okay, you need to see an ophthalmologist tomorrow, like as fast as you possibly can. When people get that kind of sense of urgency, I don't know about y'all. I know that a lot of my friends that are on here that may actually watch this on the replay, they know what it's like to get a cancer diagnosis. They also know what it feels like when someone thinks that you might have a cancer diagnosis. But when they thought that I had a brain cancer diagnosis, everybody was really serious and very fast. And insurance was not very fast, but the doctors wanted me to go very fast. And so it took me a while because of insurance to get in for the visits to see the doctor to find out if I had what we were concerned that I might have. And I will tell you, people give me grief all the time. Like, people know that I've been in health and wellness companies and well, a company for over 10 years. And I may have handled reaching out to people poorly. Part of that's because I'm a paramedic in my brain. Like, you develop a medical brain when you're in school for paramedicine. I do believe that. I believe it for doctors too, and nurses. And so the idea of putting off what you can fix or handle today and taking that chance with the time your family gets of you is overwhelming to me. It terrifies me, to be honest, because I know my dad had a massive stroke at 52 years old. So at 42 years old, I did not want to recreate that pattern. At 51, my mother was in an extremely bad accident. And the fact that she is still with me today is nothing short of a miracle. And has it always been a cakewalk? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Even if you focus on your health today and you make an investment in your health today, it doesn't mean that it's all going to be easy. So many people think that even down to how, medicine's kind of trending right now. If y'all notice in the commercials that are out there, there's this shot for this and there's this shot for that, and everybody's getting shot. It's like, here's a shot, there's a shot, everywhere's a shot. Okay, so what I need people to understand, though, is that even that doesn't mean that you're not going to have to do your part, right? And I got a message from someone the other day, and I think it was pretty salty. So I'm going to share it with y'all. She was like, well, Michelle, I don't see you skinny. And I'm like, you're right. I'm not skinny, but I'm not 400 pounds anymore either. And am I where I want to be? No, but for the last 2.5, almost 3 years, I haven't really been able to exercise or put a lot of, I can't like elevate. Like, it's not like I have high blood pressure. And like, from here down, I don't have high blood pressure. Okay. From here down. But from here up, if I push too hard, I get pulsating tinnitus. Okay. That was one of the other side effects of this disorder, is that you can hear your heartbeat all the time. I can't now, and I think that's great. And so, it's one of those things that when you find out what it's like to be, and then to be limited, and it's not because you want to be on the couch. It's not because you just want to bum around, or you want to make yourself believe that you're lazy. But it's because your body can't run your race today. And so I'm really grateful that I found the things that I did to help me get to where I am now. So in December, I went for an update. Like, I went in for to the doctor, and they dilate my eyes, and they do a vision field test, and they take pictures of the back of my eye and the optic nerve, test the pressure, all of the things, to see how my brain and my head is doing, and to see how my eyes are managing. Because what I would end up having with this is over time. See, like right now, I can see my fingers moving and I'm looking straight ahead. But one of the tests is to see how far out you can actually see, right? I can see my hands. You can't see my hands on screen right now, but I can. And I'm looking straight ahead. I have peripheral vision, right? And so with this disorder, what ends up happening is over time, you just can't see. And eventually it closes up. And praise God that my field of vision test today, I only missed one blinking light out of all the different places. Like they shoot all over the place, and some are dim and some are bright. And that just, I'm just so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. And so if it weren't like for, like my doctor was, he's like, so the supplement that we found, it's still doing its job. So I haven't been on Diamox now in almost a year. Next month will be a year. And then in October is when I found the patch that is helping my GHKCU activate. And what I did find out today is that this eye is used to be my worst eye, and now it's at 20/20. This eye is now my not good eye. And so y'all will probably notice, like right now, my patch is right here, but I will go back to patching up because a lot of times I would wear it here or here, right? And so I'm gonna need to include this location for a while. And then unlike how it has been, I've been on an every 6-month trending. They were trending me to see. And with the kind of results that I had today, I am back within complete normal limits. There's absolutely no inflammation in my optic nerve. There's no compression. And so, I still get head pressure. I still have some of because the PTC is not going to go away. It'll be there. But it is at a suitable level for me not to have vision damage. And if it's not pressurizing my skull to the point that it's compressing my optic nerve and optic disc, then I am more likely to live out like with my regimen. And I don't know how long I'll need that regimen. I'm just assuming for a long time. But I'm just grateful. I'm just super, super, super grateful that I took the chance and I found some things and I poked around and I talked to doctors and I pushed my doctors to help me find something that would work for me, because the medicine they had me on was making, like, if you think about having really high intracranial blood pressure, right? And the thought of the medicine breaking down my blood vessels in general. And then you put high pressure and blood in a brain area, and it's no bueno. Like, brain tissue does not touch blood and live. And so you can do some research on that. You can read about it. Uh, so there's one kind of stroke, which is a clot that doesn't touch, like it stops blood flow, but it doesn't bleed onto the brain tissue. When you bleed onto brain tissue, that brain tissue does not regenerate. Um, and so when I realized how fragile my veins were getting, and I mean, like I could scratch just like this, and I would bruise, like my whole hand would just bruise. And it was terrifying. Um, there are other side effects to the medicine. There's, the metallic taste of this, that, the tingling on your fingers and your legs, and you get neuropathy all over the place. And there's all kinds of other things that it does. But when you start thinking about the fact that my vasculature was breaking down after watching my dad survive a massive stroke and live with the limitations that meant for him for 20 years, I was pretty frightened. And I'm really, really just here because I just wanted you to know, no matter what you guys are facing, look at all the options, do research, be a good student, like pay attention to your body because your life matters, right? The fatigue that I had, the memory problems, all of those things, like people wondered what happened. And there were days that I had a regular rhythm online and I just wasn't able to keep it up. I just wasn't able to do it because there were days that I couldn't see to read or to type. It just affected me in so many ways. And the battle of the mind in those moments, I just want you to know you can do it. You can make it. You are not alone. You are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth finding something that works for you. Um, walking through chronic illness isn't easy. It's not. And I know I'm not alone. I know there are other people out there dealing with limitations, dealing with things that they really just feel like it's going to steal their life. But I just want you to know that healing is still the Lord's work. He is still actively doing it. And if He brings you to something that works for you, then amen. And for those people that are like busy with the naysaying and all that, you know what? If I had stayed with traditional medicine, I wouldn't probably be on here right now being able to talk to you about anything good. Okay. And I'm just in love with the fact that even though I wouldn't like intentionally go through, like nobody goes, hey, I'd like to have this diagnosis, or I'd like to survive this, Lord. Nobody says that, right? But if it is in your purview and if it is part of your life, then do know this: He will not leave you in it. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Tina. I love you guys. I just really felt like I was going to put up a post. And to be honest, right now, my eyes aren't super great for me to, like, I'm still dilated. So, like, I'm fuzzy on screen. And that's part of why I'm not responding to all the comments. So, if y'all comment where you're from or what's going on, let me know. And I will later on when I can see to respond, I will respond. I will tell you this though. When you're walking through a battlefield of health, right? You caregivers that are out there, I was a caregiver for my dad. My mom caregived for him for 20 years through AFOs and all kinds of other things that he had to have post stroke, PT. How many of y'all are dealing with physical therapy and occupational therapy and all the different counseling things? Just know if you need prayer, hit me up. Like I am truly down to pray for people. it is such a wonderful thing to be able to make it through. And you know, you never know when you're going to have a really great moment at the doctor. Um, and there are so many tools and there's support and there's strategies to help you start to at least aid your body, aid your mind. Find a group of people who actually get it and start just pouring back into you because we all need it, right? We all need it. Um, I'm blown away. I'm blown away at the healing. I really am. You know, to go from having chronic headaches and, you know, in a lot of ways, chronic means hopeless. People feel hopeless. Sometimes you just get exhausted and you don't mean to, you know, you don't mean to. You try to push through it and act like everything's going to be fine. Um, I never thought that I would need a neurologist. I just never thought I would. I mean, um, I never thought that I would be in a place where I had 20/10 vision most of my life. Okay. Let's just be real. I never thought I would need glasses. Um, and and I thought maybe one day I might need readers, you know. And then where are they? Oh, here they are. So these readers are so I started out at 2.75, right? When these didn't work, you know, the multiple, like this is $2,000. This is a credit card bill. It could be gone. Um, these I bought 6 packs of from Amazon for $12. And here's the deal. I actually had to go down because my eyes were getting better and so they were hurting my eyes. So I went from a 2.75 to a 2.5 to a 2.25, and that was in the last year. And now I'm at a 2.0. That's where I'm at. And I don't know if I will get to where I don't need readers at all. I don't know if I will. That would be nice. I wouldn't be unhappy. But um, I just want you to know that your walk is valuable. And there are people out there who need your help and they need you to have a voice for them. And they need you to share with them what you have and what you know. And if there's anybody here that has anything that they are really seeking, that, you know, they're looking for anti-inflammatory, they're looking for something that helps with fatigue, um, you know, just let me know. Let me know. Let's have a conversation. And thank you, every single one of you that was praying for me, because I really do appreciate those prayers and I really do appreciate that friendship. So y'all be blessed. I'm going to hop off now and we'll go from there. Bye, everyone.